off any oil change. Some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for.
Jungle
In
Love.
addition, we may be able to help
Hey.
you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. And NMLS number 3030.
From muscle pain, body aches, to strains, Blue Emu Maximum
What's up, y'all?
Arthritis. It works fast and you won't stink. Its unique formula with Emu penetrates deep to relieve arthritis pain, sore muscles, joints,
What
and
is
more.
up? Hey, Riri. I'm gonna be seeing my sister Riri in the next hour and a half. My family going to the country today. My family cemetery. Hey, Giselle. Hey, S. Hutchinson, what's up? Glad that you came over. And you know what, S. Hutchinson, I really appreciate, just how you and I have been like grown folks and how we just our recent interactions with each other. And I definitely appreciate that. A lot of people wouldn't step up and stand in it, and I'm guilty of also may I've said things before and people have brought it back to me, and I had to own up to it because I was like, listen, I'm caping for someone. And even though we say we don't like to choose sides, and I've always tried to remain neutral because I've never liked that bandwagon type of person that jumps and doesn't like a person for whatever reason. Um, but ultimately, you do have to gravitate toward what's right. You don't just co-sign crap. Um, right is right, wrong is wrong, and that's how I look at a lot of things because people I support sometimes do crazy crap, and I don't agree with it. And I just what I do is I don't speak on it. I just don't speak on it. And but sometimes in this sector, people will force you to choose sides, and it's almost like, well, damn. So, and I'm not even talking about you as Hutchinson. Now, it was like this one person, he flat out told me to shut the fuck up, and I was like, oh, you got the right one, bitch. Let's do this because I think you got a false sense of security because, and I'm talking about James. And you know what? I don't want to be a dead horse, but I use that as reference because this man told me to shut the fuck up because he wasn't feeling Jay Wilson, and he made a comment about the gentleman's panel, and he saw I wasn't saying nothing about him. So with him saying shut the fuck up to me, I was like, bitch, you got the right one because I don't think you know who you're dealing with. Now you're accustomed to how Jay Wilson handled you. I'm a horse of a different color. So I did have to get him together, and he didn't do it again. If he's done it again, I haven't watched him because I'm one of those people that say, if I say I don't watch you, I don't watch you. Uh, and that day that you were talking, after we had talked, S. Hutchinson, and I was good with you. I came over there and you were like, well, Rebel, did you hear what I said in the beginning? I was like, I didn't hear what you said in the beginning to me, but I saw when you said standing up in your ish, and I was like, okay, well, let me check her out. Hold on, I gotta run in the store. Hold on, y'all. Damn it. I got to put gas in my car. Okay. I'll be right back, y'all. Give me a minute. What else do I need? Something else. Cut my car off would be great. Sorry, y'all. It took me a little bit longer. I have to get gas in my car because I'm driving to the freaking north side. So guys, this mask is so constricting. I feel like I'm doing S&M every time I put it on, like some type of bondage device. Hey, Miss Diva, MissPink.com. Hey, what's up? You know, I really enjoyed myself over there with with D Ramsey. Have me rolling, y'all, and I think that people don't know your backstory. So when I talk about my backstory, it's like I'm telling you my family history and things that I've been through. You can't use that against me because I'm telling you what I've been through. And you know, people be like, "Well, he said that his mother was an alcoholic, and my mother was my mother battled with alcoholism for years. It made me not be much of a drinker. Now, will I nibble on an edible every now and then? Sometimes, yes. But I can't even tell you the last time I did that. And you know what? S. Hutchinson, um, Shelly, like Madison calls you Shelly. Um, I think that people can't read you with your own tea because you've given them that. It's like, how the hell can you read me with my tea when I willingly told you the information? It's nothing that you went and found out. Hey, faith is substance. You know what? S. Shelly. You know what? You know it's a baby. Because let me tell you, I'm telling you, when we talked before, Shelly, you were telling me about what part of town your sister stays in, and I'm not gonna say what you were saying because they can go back and watch the video. But when you were telling me that, I was like, oh, okay, that's in my part of town. And you said you liked it, and I was like, okay, well, you seem like you could be cool. We can hang out because you roll with Maddie. And I'm like, you good people. But just like I was telling D. Ramsey, I think that you can meet people, you can form your own opinions about them. Damn, where's my straw? God, I don't like putting my mouth on things like this. Most things I don't like putting my mouth on. But especially like something like this, because I be thinking about people picking it up and, you know, in the store. Let me wipe the top of this damn rim. The damn straw fell out, obviously. But hi, Michelle's daughter. But my family, yeah, we're going to my family's cemetery. My great grandparents, great grandparents, they donated the land to their church, and under the condition that all their family will be buried there. So I can go to this cemetery. My great grandparents that were the children of slaves, and we're all, you know, we go there and we pick up stuff, we clean up a little. It's not a big cemetery. The cemetery is probably like a few maybe like about 5 acres. It's some acres, but there's probably like about 200 of my relatives buried there. So when we go there, we can, you know, we walk around and we look at the, you know, the different tombstones, and you know, we can say, wait, hold up, is that a mango tree? Okay, this is a mango tree, y'all. Hold on, this is like my neighborhood. I think that's a mango tree. That, or it looks like those are some papayas, maybe. I think those are papayas. Wow. Okay. But as I was saying, so we go to the country. Now, when we drive here, it's like an hour out of Houston. And this is the little country town that I grew up in when I was little. And I told y'all the stories about everybody's related, everybody's in everybody else's business. I couldn't have little girlfriends because I was having girlfriends at that time, and I was like in junior high. And my great grandmother would be like, you can't date her, that's your cousin. And I used to be like, well, damn, aren't y'all all related? How the hell were y'all fucking and making babies? If we all related, does that just apply to me now? Now, this girl is my 8th cousin. You telling me I can't date her because we're related, because our great grandparents were first cousins? Hell, I'm more related to a white person than I'm related to her. I still was sneaking and hunching. Yes, I was. Hell, we 8th cousins. I can see it. We were like 3rd or 4th cousins, but 8th cousins. Hell, Obama is probably more kin to Cheney, because he's Cheney's cousin down the line. Hell, so you know, so we could be 2 different races, so we still can't sleep together because we 10th cousins. And Grandma used to drink that Thunderbird too, so I kind of put that up. say that's probably played a part. Um, Let me go grab this out of here. I gotta get me some razor blades out of this beauty supply store. Um, hey, she coming looking out at me. Girl, I'm coming in. What the hell you looking at me for? I'm gonna be right back, y'all. This is gonna be my last stop before I get to my brother's house. Okay. They didn't have the razor blades that I needed. So hell no, I'm not getting those other little knockoffs. But hey Elizabeth, hey TC. So my family, we go there and we pick up at the cemetery, but we're going to put my mother's headstone on her grave. And let me tell you, that's why when I tell y'all about Wiley is such a piece of shit because he was talking about we didn't pay for my mother's. I talked about this in another video. He was like, well, someone sent him some information that said Rebel's son and his family didn't pay for his mother's funeral. They didn't have the money. And I'm like, who makes up shit like that? What type of a person just lies like that? So my mother's funeral was paid for in advance. When it happened, we paid for everything like that. And you know, when you bury someone, you have to let the earth settle because you don't put a headstone on someone's grave when they pass. You don't put it on 2 weeks later. But me and my siblings talked about when we wanted to put the headstone on my mother's grave. We wanted to put it on her birthday in April. My mother's birthday is in April, so we wanted to do it in April, you know, just to say, you know, make it like, just to mark her birthday as, look, Mom, we're doing this for you. And COVID hit. So when COVID hit, February, March, it was like, well, damn, my mother's birthday in April, so it was like those places doing the tombstones that we ordered the tombstones from out of state. But the places doing the headstones, they just were on lockdown. They weren't doing anything. It was such a hassle. This lady doing a U-turn. What are you doing? Okay, it was such a hassle, you know. And we were a bit excessive with my mother's headstone. Because, you know, we did like the 2 vases on the side and we got her picture. Yeah, we did. And, you know, I was feeling a certain kind of way, but my brother and sister wanted to do it. So we put a picture of her in this little oval. It's like an oval porcelain type of thing that they put it in. The picture will fade in some years, I'm sure. But, you know, my siblings wanted to do it, and I, you know, was just, you know, we weren't going to argue about something that's, you know, trivial as that. But, so my family, now they're talking about putting some headstones on other family members' graves that they neglected to do. And it's making them look bad because my mother passed away the end of last year. These family members have been passed away 5 and 10 years. And they always talked about putting headstones. And this was that family member that didn't have headstone was my grandmother and my aunt. My mother's sisters and brothers were responsible for doing that. You know how in black families there's so many chiefs and not enough Indians, so they were arguing about they want rose-colored granite. They want this. They wanted to say that. They wanted to. And me and my aunt actually had words. We got into a back and forth about this the other day when I said, "Listen, me and my brothers and sisters are gonna help y'all pay for those headstones because it's embarrassing as family that my mother has a headstone and your mother doesn't have a headstone and your sister doesn't have a headstone. Why is that? When you can buy these kids some damn Jordans every year or a few times a year, you're going buying hookah, you're getting turned up at the clubs, you're buying new outfits, but y'all can't come with $100 a piece. It's fucking 7 of y'all and my other cousins. So why is no one coming with the money for these damn headstones?" And I'm not blaming my cousins because my grandmother's immediate kids were supposed to do this. But me and my siblings are stepping up. Listen, I don't care how much money someone else is giving. Because the problem with my family is people are like, if I give $200, they should give $200. And people, we have different financial, our finances are different. Something I do, my cousins or my aunts can't do. And I'm not looking at them being able to do the same amount. Just every bit counts. If you can give 20, 30 damn dollars. But it's always been excuses with my family because they'll be like, well, I wanted to say this. I want her last name to say this. And me and my aunt got in the back and forth because my aunt felt that my grandmother should have her same last name. My aunt was thinking, well, you know, we call my grandmother Ma. She was like, well, I think Ma should have, she should have the same, she should have her last name. And I was like, because your last name, and my aunt is not on social media, so, you know, people try to find her, you're going to get your ass drugged. But my aunt was like, her last name is Williams. I was like, no, her last name wasn't Williams. Her last name is DeBlaw. She was like, well, she was married as a Williams. I was like, yes, but she got divorced from Pops, which is my grandfather. I said, she didn't carry Williams for the last couple of decades. She wasn't a Williams. People knew her as Williams because they grew up in the neighborhood. But my grandmother made it a point to get Williams taken off her name. She didn't want you to call. She was DeBlaw. Her last name was DeBlaw. And she didn't want Williams. So my aunt's last name is Williams. So that's like her thinking, well, that's my mama and I want my... No, it's not about you. Black people, stop making it about you. And I told her, no, she didn't. You're thinking about yourself and that's selfish. And she was like, well, she was a Williams. She was a Williams, but at her death, what was she? You have to respect that. If she wasn't a Williams at the time that she passed, why would you go and put Williams because that's your last name? Who the hell does that? Oh, you don't want people to think that your grandmother, you don't want people to think that your mother had y'all out of wedlock, or I mean, what is it? And I told her, this is the problem why y'all haven't been able to get a headstone. Because the little stuff like this has caused y'all to be waiting 10 years. Now, the grave has a mark on it. You know how at the cemeteries they put those little things like with the little paper and say, what the hell, really? And it's 10 years. So we sent like a group text out the other day, my brother did. If y'all are not going to pay for the headstone, we'll pay for it. And we're going to get a basic headstone that says, in loving memory. We're going to do that, and fuck what y'all have to say because you're dragging your feet and nothing's going to get done with y'all making decisions. Now, if you run into the back of my car, I'm gonna have me a brand new Jeep Wrangler. But as I was saying, y'all, I'm driving to the north side. I stay southwest Houston. And you know, some of my moderators, they be scared because they be like, you know, don't tell them where you stay at. I wish a person would pull up. Because Texas is a right. We bear arms in Texas. People have more guns than they own shoes. So you can pull up if you want to. I learned how to shoot when I was 9 years old. But, and I'm not one of those people that get on YouTube and I show my guns and all that. No, I'm not going to show you what type of firearm I have. You just know that I do have heat. Like Madea used to say, Tyler Perry, when he was playing like Madea, he was like, peace be still, peace is made of steel. But, and you know what I think, and you know, S. Hutchinson, TC, hey TC, what you were saying? And you know what, it is something, Shelly, to be giving disclaimers, because it's like, people be so stupid, and they make up crap. And that's why I was saying about this whole dragging kids thing. I don't have children, but I know what's right and what's wrong. I have nephews and nieces. So I do know it's wrong as hell for you to be talking about someone's kids. Why would you? And you know what, y'all, chat, I'm gonna tell you, people that do that is because they don't know how to roast and gag and keep it moving. And Shelly, I was listening to you said back in the days, they would come and roast and gag and they'll keep it moving. But these new people coming along, and I've been on YouTube, my year will be in September. Now, I was on YouTube in the Bush years. My first people I was following was T.S. Madison. I followed T.S. Baby. I knew T.S. Madison when she was doing the adult videos. And I used to be like, that bitch is bad. That's a bad bitch. Baby. But when I saw how she moved up and evolved, when she evolved, I was like, that to me was inspirational. When Maddie talked about her past and the things she had to do and how people constantly had to try to take away from her accomplishments. And I watch other people. I watch Layla Lynn. I watch DJ Richie Sky. I watch Jay Lee. I watch a lot of people other than that are not beefing. And I think that it's room for all of us to be great. And you can have subscribers that support you, but subscribers, let me tell y'all something. And this is for both sides. The people I support and the people I don't support. Subscribers sometimes can become so obsessed that it can become a little scary because they will co-sign anything that you do, and that's not a good thing. You shouldn't be a bunch of yes men to any content creator. I'm human. I will screw up sometimes. I may say bitch or something and you may feel a certain kind of way. If I say fat bitch, you may be like, well, I'm a fat bitch. Why you calling me a fat? And I'll be like, well, I wasn't talking about you. You know? Sometimes my mouth can, and let me say this, I've learned the older I've gotten, because right now I always tell y'all I'm 27 to 35 years old. But I've learned to keep myself, I've always been a person that thought before I spoke, because your mouth can say some things that is hard to take back. And I remember having an ex, and we would get into it, And I would cut him up, y'all. And God knows I would. Y'all see me on here, y'all think of me as a sweet, angelic entity of some sort, but he was like, bitch, you from the 9th layer of hell. We would get into it. I'd be like, bitch, you don't even know how to fuck. I used to say some stuff. You call that a dick? I should be going to jail fucking with you with that little ass shit that you got. Yeah, and this was years ago, y'all. I'm not that person anymore. But when he would make me mad, I would say that. And I would, I would tell him I could bake you milk. I would bake cookies and give you milk, but also I may call your mother a bitch if I'm mad. It was just, I would be, because I grew up around people that had some slick tongues, and my family have people that will fight quick. And I saw that kind of got them in, not kind of, it did get them in jail sometimes. And my uncle was a dope dealer, and he used to, I'm his nephew. They looked at me as his little brother. So a lot of times, they were afraid of me because they were afraid of him. But I was sweet. But I knew that I could go there if I needed to. The Williams boys, yes, my last name is Williams. The Williams boys were nothing nice. And the Williams girls was even worse. I tell you, my mom used to fight in high school. Hell, in another life, I would be like, was my mama a stud? And shit, my mom was like a tomboy. She riding horses with no saddle with the boys and going hunting and fighting boys in school. My mother had a big afro. My mother had a big afro. She had a afro pink in her head that was like those old school ones that were made like out of wire. Baby, my mother would take that afro pick out and wear somebody's ass out with it. And that's why when I told the story of the bully, the guy that was one of my neighbors that used to bully me because he was bigger than me, later on we end up wrestling and that led into something more. But if you ever watching this, I'm not giving any extra information. He was a neighbor, and I ain't say how close of a neighbor, but he used to bully me. And he used to wrestle with, not bully, like, he used to be like bigger than me, so he would wrestle me and overpower me. And I was crying I was sitting on the porch and I had tears in my eyes. And my Aunt Valerie, she was like, what's wrong with you? She said, what's wrong? I was like, I wasn't saying nothing. She said, tell me what's wrong. And I was like, Derek hit me. Did I say his name? Okay, I was like, he hit me. And she was like, he hit you? And I was like, yeah. She was like, next time he put his hands on you, pick up something, you knock the fuck out of him. And I was like, well, I'm gonna get a whooping if I do that. She was like, no, you're not, because he shouldn't have put his fucking hands on you. I said, okay. And baby, my aunt left. I went and got me a pipe on the side of that house. It was a broken pipe. I got that pipe and I sat in the window and waited for him to come outside. When he came outside, I caught him walking on the side of that house, and I was like about 9 years old. And he was probably about 11, 12. I caught him on the side of that house, and they had one of those big wooden tall gates. He couldn't jump it, and it had a lock on it because they had a dog in the backyard, and they didn't want no one to steal the dog, so they had a lock on that gate, and he went on the side of the house probably to turn the water hose on to water the lawn. I caught his ass on the side of that house, and I said, didn't I tell you to stop playing with me? And he was like, what? What, little nigga? I said, didn't I tell you to stop playing with me? And he was like, nigga, what you gonna do it? Wow! I started wearing his ass out with that little pipe. His knuckles were bleeding. I would have probably been in jail if I did that today. His knuckles were bleeding. I was hitting his knuckles. And he started crying. He said, I'm gonna tell my mom. He was like, stop. And I said, and don't fuck with me no more. And at 9 years old, I said this. I said, don't fuck with me no more. And he was like, from that day on, I'd be eating ice cream, walking by him, taunting him. He wouldn't do nothing to me. And then when we became adults, because I've known this guy since I was a baby. But when we became adults, he was telling my uncles and my cousin, he said, man, if I ever get into a fight, I want this nigga right here on my team. That nigga crazy as fuck. And I was like, yep. If I have to go there with you, I will. Y'all, hell, because he was bigger than me. Then he started being fine, and then we started, playing around wrestling, and, hormones came into play. One thing led to another, but that's for another day. When I saw him recently, it looks like the person that I see now ate that person that was fine. So yeah, it's no go. And he be trying to be friendly with me and want to know when we can have a beer together. When we gonna have a beer together? Cold word. Is that have a beer? Right. I don't even drink beer, you know that. And we're not gonna be like we little kids and start wrestling and say whoever win the wrestling match, you got to do what the other one wants you to do. Nigga, you 100 pounds bigger than me. Hell no, we ain't gonna play like that. But I'm almost at my brother's house. Y'all just talk to me until I get there. I'm gonna be there in probably about 15 minutes. My family got mad at me because when I moved to the southwest part of Houston, my family all stayed north side. And they're like, why did you move over there? Hell, so y'all couldn't just pop up when y'all wanted to? That's why. I know how y'all are. Y'all pop up and be like, I was going to the store just and I can have me a little Scooby snack and they're having some fun. And they may pop up. No, I want it to be a drive that you'd have to think about before you just jump in your car and think you're gonna pass by. But we don't promote violence. Leah, we don't promote violence, right? We don't promote violence. We promote the First Amendment. And we promote defending yourself, but we violence. Now, my family also had a chain of nurseries. My family had a landscaping business, which was pretty lucrative because the plant nurseries that we had were here in Houston. We had one in Fort Worth. We had one in Florida. It was three of them. But so my brother is really good at like doing his lawn. Maybe my brother, he be going and buying all types of plants. I go buy damn ivory and the plant die. I'll be like, I gotta do better than this. It's in my genetics to be a person with horticulture, good with that. Just I need to have my poor plants were on my porch, y'all. I had me a little bell pepper plant. I had a bell pepper plant. I had a little miniature tomato plant, and I had like a purple plant that looked raining. Oh God, it may not even go. I had a purple plant that looked like an ivy, but my neighbor said, you know you got plants on your patio, right? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go water them. Maybe I went out there, the plants, they were holding on for dear life, just dried up. I tried to water them a little, but that's why I'm not getting a dog right now. I want a dog. I've dated enough of them. I should own one. But my plants died. so I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna get me some more plants. There's a K Love. K Love inspired me to get more plants because he has a lot of. Go check his channel out. K Love. He was laughing because he was telling me about. He used to be a makeup artist on the Ricky Lake show, and I was on Ricky Lake, and he was working there at the time that I was on Ricky Lake. I was a guest. I wasn't in the audience. The title of the show was Confronting an Ex. And it was in '93. That's all I'm telling y'all. And when y'all try to find out what my age is, I was underage. I was like 12 years old. I look mature for my age. But I was on Ricky Lake, and the show was Confronting an Ex. And remember when I did you remember the time, I don't know if y'all was watching when when Brother Jay had people called in, and the person that called in was the guy. When I heard his voice, he was like, I said, where are you from? Okay, when I heard his voice, I was like, where are you from? He's like, I'm from Houston. And I said, he had his name in the damn chat. I was like, oh my God. I was like, don't say my name. You know who I am. And he's like, OMG. We were both on Ricky Lake, and the show was Confronting the Ex again. He was supposed to be my ex-boyfriend, and I was confronting him. Now keep in mind, this was in '93, so people weren't really out with their sexuality. And when my family saw that, it was like third and fourth cousins were calling, oh my God, he's a punk, he's gay. Oh, and I was like, oh well. And it was like before that I wasn't really out per se, but when I became an adult, I had my own apartment. I didn't need my family to take care of me. So if they didn't like what I was doing, they held with them. But, and the funny thing about this guy is we went to high school together. We both were in one class, and people used to always say that we look like brothers because we do look a lot alike. And he used to be flirting, trying to, get it in. Now you like, boy, we look like brothers. That's weird as hell. No, I'm not. I couldn't even date a person that looked like a family member. So you think I'm gonna hook up with you and you look like a family member? People say we look, because when we did the show, I could hear people in the audience saying they look alike. Are they related? They look alike. But no, we're not related. But it was odd that he called in and he didn't know that was me because, spoiler, my name is not Rebel Son. My government name is not Rebel Son. Y'all, I'm getting ready to come up on my brother's house. His neighborhood is quiet over here. But I'm not going to show addresses or anything. I'm just driving slow. This is the north side, y'all. This is how the neighborhoods look. This is my brother's neighborhood. Quiet houses. Now this is my brother's backyard. Now this big ass gate that he got, and the dogs be running rampant. Okay, they got my brother's outside right now. Hey, what's up? Let's look at him. What you said? What you say? Hey, what you up to? This a friend of mine. Wave at him. Okay, see ya. Oh my God, what's up with the ambulance? Hold on, y'all. My brother's house is right here. I don't want people to see his ass. There's an ambulance across the street. What's up? What's up? And you ready to go, right? Oh, okay. Where's Jason? Oh, okay. What? Okay, hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm in my brothers.
Maria was gonna leave up in my, but now she gotta come over here. That's the we decided to go
Look at this big ass truck. What you say? What's up, Ted? Huh? About what? I'm talking right here. I'm not sure nothing.
Anyway.
Right. So I'm gonna take care of this and I'll be back. Because it's looking at me.
It's looking at I see. I thought about 10. Yeah, it is looking at you.
Okay, y'all. I'll be back on later.